Today, our whole world is in our back pocket. With apps like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, we are constantly on social media. It has become a part of our everyday lives. Today, we are going to explore how social media could actually be altering your character for the worse. Now, social media may not be altering your character for the worst, but it is important to be aware of these signs. Research has shown that social media is addicting and can alter your brain chemistry, just like drugs. Social media can cause a dopamine rush, only making you crave it more. In 10 Arguments for Deleting Your Social Media Right Now, Jared Lanier explores how social media makes us behave like addicts. Those who become addicted to social media begin to exhibit behaviors of addicts, such as anxiousness, selfishness, and arrogance. This is no different for social media addicts. Those addicted to bummer platforms become addicted to being offended, therefore they can engage in discourse online and continue the cycle. Addicts are aggressive as they feel it is a you or them type of environment. On page 43 of his book, Lanier states that even successful and pleasant bummer addicts, like top social media influencers, have reported that they must not be too nice to others, for that shows weakness in a highly competitive fishbowl. Because social media gets you addicted, it makes you act like an addict and degrades your character. In conclusion, it is harder to avoid engaging in conflict and turning into an asshole on social media.
Using social media can cause people to alter their behavior. Many people find that they are starting to be rude to others or even fake nice. Lanier explains that he noticed who he was becoming and he had to get away from social media because he didn't like how his character was changing. On page 47 of the book, 10 Arguments for Deleting Your Social Media Right Now, Lanier says, bummer platform experiences ricochet between two extremes. Either there's a total shitstorm of assholes or everyone is super careful and artificially nice. Many people that use social media are being corrupted and turned into assholes. They're acting in ways they would not if they were in person. Cyberbullying can be seen practically anywhere, and many people can name at least one time where they have been bullied online. Jared Lanier urges the audience to remember what it's like being authentically nice in hopes that they will realize just how far away most people are from being that these days. When we take a step back and see what social media has done to our character, then we are able to decide if we want to keep social media or not.
What is it about social media that corrupts people and turns them into assholes? The mysterious nature of asshole amplification in technology is that people seek attention. The place for this attention seeking is through social media, which includes Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, YouTube, and many others. Since the main goal is to attract attention, people tend to become virtual assholes because, as we know, the biggest assholes receive the most attention. Truth be told, we all have an inner troll waiting to lash out if the opportunity presents itself. However, assholedom, as described by Jared Lanier, is amplified by social media. Jared Lanier, in his book titled 10 Arguments for Deleting Social Media Accounts Right Now, believes that the reason for acting out our inner troll is based on a primitive wolf pack mentality. When people are in a pack, as wolves are, the most important thing in our lives is the interaction we have with other people, which includes a competitive hierarchy power structure. Those with the pack mentality become obsessed with the social order that they treat others without compassion. In other words, they let out their inner troll or become assholes. So, instead of fighting for power like those with the wolf pack mentality, we need to imitate the lone solitary wolf. When people act as lone wolves, when people act as individual thinkers, then each person can reason according to their own unique way of thought and not what others are doing or thinking. The end result: fewer assholes in the virtual world.
What is it about social media that makes our master switch flip back and forth? While you independently scroll through social media, you are in a solidarity state. At some point, we switch to pack mentality. But when is that? The moment you engage with others via the comment section, subtweeting, and live responses. At this point, we have become a group of individuals joined together under a common denominator, the original post, which also brings on a competition for social status. The competition is what creates an asshole on social media due to their inner troll wanting to receive the most attention in that thread. On page 53, Lanier uses the comparison of Twitter versus LinkedIn. He claims there are fewer assholes on LinkedIn than Twitter because the users of LinkedIn have something to do other than compete for social appearances. Most users on LinkedIn are there to further their career, bringing them back to a solidarity state instead of a pack state. Users are not on LinkedIn to hire their social status, but to improve their own lives. While Bummer plays a huge role in the discourse of social media, we also have made it into an attention-seeking game, purely for our own psychological reward. We make others feel like assholes to boost our own version of playing fake nice to win over a stranger's sense of loyalty. So how do we fix this problem? Be authentically nice. Go to places you are productive and delete any form of social media that brings you to a wolf pack-like state without an authentic goal.
In conclusion, it is harder to avoid engaging in conflict and turning into an asshole on social media. If you feel yourself starting to turn into an asshole, the best thing to do is to get off the platform. To engage in fights online is not worth hurting your character. Do not let bummer platforms control you and degrade your character.